Hey guys, it's me, the Big B, with another review video. This is not going to be on a phone itself, it's going to be on for an add-on for the phone, for me iPhone 3GS to be exact, and it's this. It's one of these power pack things you can get. This is the iPower one. You can get different makes and models. There's quite a few out there, varying companies at varying prices, and most importantly, varying capacities, battery capacities. Now some of the other ones that were quite expensive, I'm talking up to £50 some of them, and they were about 1200 milliamp batteries up to about 1800. This one is a 2000 milliamp hour battery in it, which is really good, and I snagged it for £15 off eBay, and it's new, it wasn't used, it was brand new, so it hasn't been charged God knows how many times, and I'm really pleased with it. Now I'll give you some specs off the back in a minute of like talk time and thing with this thing plugged in, but I'll tell you a little bit about the device itself and what I like and what I don't like about it. Now if you're getting this as a case, because it's like a power pack but your phone slides into it, don't. It's not going to make a good case. That's not what it's designed for, and it won't protect your phone really very much if you drop it or anything like that. That's not what it's designed for. So if that's what you're wanting to get it for, and the added bonus it's got a battery in, don't. Basically that's the device. You can see where my phone slots into there. There's a port in the bottom like your standard iPhone connector. There's 4 LEDs with a little button in the middle, and as you can see it does add a bit of width and a bit of girth to it and a bit of weight, and as you can see it doesn't actually go right to the top of the iPhone, it just stops underneath the camera there, so it's not protecting the top of the phone at all. Now material wise it's quite sturdy, they are quite solid, and it's made of a very similar, if not exact, plastic to the back of the iPhone in the first place, so it is very similar. So it is going to scratch just like the iPhone, but you know, preferring like putting it down on a table, I prefer this to scratch than the iPhone itself, so that's not a problem. On the bottom you've got two ports. You've got a micro USB, and that's where you basically plug it in to charge it. Now you can plug it into your computer and you can sync through iTunes through that, obviously when the phone's plugged in, and you can also plug that obviously into your plug that you get with the iPhone in the first place, the USB plug. What that other one's for, that's a standard USB, and if you've got any other device that charges via USB, that either be say like an Android phone that has USB, or even a sat-nav, anything that plugs in via USB for its power, you can use this power pack to charge it, which is a handy little feature really. Now the lights on the front, you've got 4 lights, and they represent the power that's in the power pack. 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%, and your button in the middle. Now when you get this, and I did from new, it was completely flat obviously, so I just plugged it in first, didn't plug the phone in, just plugged this into the power, let it charge up. Took a while, but obviously it's like I say, it's a fairly big capacity battery. Now once it's fully charged, my iPhone, when I went to plug it in, was about 70% power, so I plugged it in, pushed it in, it started charging straight away. What it does then is it charges the phone up when the phone hits 100%, then what happens is, it obviously can't charge anymore, so then the phone will drain the power of the pack itself first. It's got some sort of like power technology in it, like battery technology, so the iPhone will deplete the power pack's power first before its own, and it does last quite a long time, because you imagine it's a 2000 milliamp hour battery and you do get quite a bit of charge. Now another way you can use it, if you don't want to leave it plugged in because you don't like the size and the weight it adds, you can just use it as like a portable sort of power source. You can just take your iPhone out when it's charged, pop the charger in your pocket or in your car, or wherever, so you've got it with you, you go out for the day. Now if you're taking a lot of video and playing a lot of games while you're out, the battery on an iPhone will drain fairly quickly. It's just one of those things. But what'll happen is, if you get like play for a while, you're down to 20%, 15% or whatever, you just pop it back in, it'll charge up to 100%, and you take it back out. And you can get around about, they reckon, about 4 full charges from one charge of your power pack. So that means you can charge your battery up on your iPhone from nothing to 100% 4 times, which when you're out and about, if you're nowhere near a power source, that's ideal. And again, you can leave the iPhone in when the battery pack is depleted and the phone's really low and you come home, you can just leave the iPhone in there, plug it in, and what it'll do is it'll charge the iPhone first, then it'll charge the power pack once the iPhone's fully charged. Or again, like I say, you can take the iPhone out and just charge the power pack on its own. It doesn't really matter. Now, I've had this thing, I charged it up when I first got it, I put it in, and I had it going most of the day, and I left it on all night, and obviously the iPhone stayed at 100% and it just used the power pack. And I would say after 2 days I was down to about 50%, which is not bad after like 2 days. And you know, I mean, you can give it some hammer. Obviously, if you do anything major like 3D gaming, it's going to run down, but it's not going to run down as fast as just using the iPhone battery. I mean, if you get 4 full charges out of this thing by taking the iPhone in and out, even if you leave the iPhone in and just let it deplete the power, you're still going to get about 4 times as long using it as just using the standard iPhone with its battery on its own. You're still going to get a lot of power out of this thing. Now, I'll run through a couple of specs it's got on the back of the box here. Now it says, now obviously this is the 2000 milliamp hour one, the others may vary depending on what milliamp hour battery you get. And this will fit the 2G, 3G and 3GS phones. Obviously you can get an iPhone 4 version, but you've got to make sure you get the right one that's a different shape. Now standby time, it says with this, it gives you up to 390 hours standby time. Talk time on 3G is 6.5 hours. On 2G it'll be 13.5 hours. Internet usage on 3G is up to 6.5 hours continuous, and on Wi-Fi that goes up to 8. Audio play, you'll get 31 hours out of it, continuous audio, and video you can get up to 9 hours continuous play on it, which again isn't bad. 9 hours continuous isn't bad going at all. So I'm quite pleased with it. Like I say, as a case, don't even go there. Like I say, you drop this, it's going to basically be the same as just dropping the iPhone on its own. It's going to cause damage. It's not meant to kind of be a protective case. Like I say, it does protect against scratches when you put it down on the table and whatever, but don't get it for that. But as a power pack, it's really good. And as you can see, again, I'll just show you there. I didn't show you that. There's the LEDs. You can click that once and it shows you how much power is left in the power pack. Now sometimes when you put the phone in, it won't register as charging because the power pack, especially if you haven't touched for a while or you've took the iPhone out and put it back in, it kind of turns itself off. So sometimes you've got to long hold that button and then it'll go bing into life and say that it's in a charging port. It depends thing, but I just leave mine in permanently anyway. But again, that's not a problem. It's just you've got to do that sometimes if it doesn't register charging when you first put it in. But like I say, I'll leave mine plugged in permanently, so I've got all that extra power without having to slide the phone in and out all the time. So really pleased with it. Well worth getting, especially if you do have issues with battery or you're someone who does spend a lot of time away from the house, or you know, and especially say if you go on holiday and you're going to be away for the day or a couple of days, it'll be ideal. And obviously if you take your power cable with you, if you do go somewhere where you think you can just keep recharging it rather than recharging just the phone, and you get all that extra power while you're out. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. It's just a simple review, just to let you know how these things generally work. And like I say, they do advertise them on some sites as they're a case. They're not a case. I wouldn't get it as a case. You know, it's just basically for pure power, extra power. So leave it there, guys. We're coming up to the 10 minutes. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, just drop comments and I'll answer. If I forget anything or you want to know anything more specific, I'll definitely let you know. But definitely worth going for. If you're one of these people, like I say, who are out and about a lot, and you know, and you're going to be sitting playing games or whatever, and you're going to need a lot more extra power. Well worth it, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.